What if I told you that one of Nigeria's most powerful academic departments didn't disappear because it failed? It disappeared because it was too brilliant. What if a university course was shut down not for lack of funding, not for low enrollment, but because it once helped power a rebellion? And what if the reason still echoes silently across a campus in Nsukka? This is not just about education. This is about war. This is about intelligence. This is about fear. And this is about a history many were never taught. For years, students have whispered, why doesn't UNN offer chemical engineering? Some assume, maybe accreditation issues, maybe funding problems, maybe poor infrastructure. But the truth, according to historical accounts tied to the Nigerian Civil War era, tells a deeper and more complicated story. To understand it, we must go back to 1967. The University of Nigeria, Nsukka, was not just another school. Founded in 1960, it was built with an American-style academic structure. It was modern. It was ambitious. It was bold. And among its strongest faculties, engineering. And within engineering, chemical engineering. This department wasn't ordinary. It attracted some of the brightest scientific minds in eastern Nigeria. It trained thinkers, innovators, builders. No one knew then that those same minds would soon be forced into something much bigger than classrooms. When the Nigerian Civil War began in 1967, eastern Nigeria declared itself the Republic of Biafra. UNN was renamed the University of Biafra. Books were no longer just academic tools. Science was no longer theoretical. Everything changed because Biafra was blockaded. No food, no medicine, no fuel, no weapon supply. They were cut off from the world, and survival demanded innovation. Enter the Research and Production Unit, RAP, led by Professor Gordian Ezekwe, and joined by brilliant minds like Sylvester Akolonu, Benjamin Nwosu, Willie Achukwu, Okizi Confidence, and many others. These were not soldiers. They were engineers. But when survival became the mission, they transformed science into defense. Inside hidden laboratories and improvised workshops, they began building what many thought was impossible under blockade conditions. They created locally engineered weapons, communication systems, armored vehicles from scrap metal, rockets, improvised defensive equipment. But what shocked many historians most, they built modular oil refineries. Under siege, with scraps, with limited resources, they refined fuel locally to power vehicles and machinery. Think about that. A region cut off from global supply chains, yet producing its own fuel through scientific innovation. That level of ingenuity was extraordinary. There are accounts that when federal troops entered Nsukka, university facilities were heavily affected. Stories circulate of library materials destroyed during the conflict. Whether symbolic or strategic, education became entangled in the politics of war. Because knowledge during conflict is power, and power can threaten authority. In 1970, the war ended. Nigeria adopted a no victor, no vanquished policy. Universities reopened. Departments resumed. But something was different. Chemical engineering at UNN never returned in the same way. Over time, the department disappeared from the course list. No dramatic announcement. No public explanation. Just silence. There are several possible interpretations historians discuss. Political distrust of institutions heavily associated with wartime production. Administrative restructuring after the war. Reallocation of engineering programs to other universities. Resource challenges post-conflict. But many believe the deeper emotional reason was this. The department symbolized intellectual resistance. And symbols matter. Was it punishment? Was it coincidence? Was it restructuring? Or was it fear of what brilliance can do under pressure? We may never have a single official answer. But what we do know is this. During one of Nigeria's darkest hours, scientists from UNN proved something unforgettable. Knowledge can survive blockade. Innovation can grow in scarcity. And intelligence can become a weapon. Nigeria struggles with refinery capacity decades later. Yet in the late 1960s, engineers under siege created working modular systems. It raises uncomfortable questions. What could have happened if that scientific momentum had been fully reintegrated and expanded? What if those minds had been nationally celebrated instead of politically sensitive? What if research had been prioritized over suspicion? If you walk across UNN's campus now, you'll see students laughing, attending lectures, building their futures. But hidden in that soil is a chapter rarely taught in detail. Not just of war. How many departments disappear without explanation? How many stories are simplified for comfort? So next time someone asks, why does UNN offer chemical engineering? Don't answer too quickly, because sometimes what's missing on a course list is not an absence of ability. It's the shadow of history, and history has a long memory. Some departments are closed by budget, some are closed by policy, but some are closed by fear of what knowledge can become.